See 'em? Well, open your damn eyes in. It's the old-timey country down-home red state update podcast and them. Coming to you from a bunker underneath Jackie's Market in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And here they are,
Hey, Red State
both
Update.
of
My name's
them.
Jackie, bro.
Folks, people, it's Dunlap. Thank you for coming back to the Red State Update podcast. It's August. Halloween stuff is done in stores.
No.
Every year,
Awful.
ghost creep. I always said, Jackie, you've heard me say it a million times, Christmas starts after Labor Day. The first half is about ghosts. And now I don't know.
It's too much. Ghosts just take over. What about? I think it's more important. Thanksgiving being Thanksgiving is more important than ghosts and monsters. All ghosts and monsters have fun, dress up, do whatever. Fine. But that just runs. It just strolls right over Thanksgiving. We don't see no pilgrims now. I see ghosts everywhere. Every kind of candy you want to get's got to go somewhere. I don't see no pilgrim. I don't see no turkey.
No, pilgrims are not. We're not going to have the pilgrims anymore.
What?
We get a middle turkey break. Starts after Labor Day. The first half is about ghosts. You get a small turkey break at the end of Thanksgiving, Thursday, November. I had three words in my mind. Thanksgiving. 4, turkey, Thanksgiving, Thursday, November. November's the one that it was hard for me to remember. Folks, you're seeing the sad, long decline.
There's something, let me tell you right now, I saw it in the news today. They put electrodes on your brain. It makes you remember things. They saying it's working. They say, Dr. Sanjay Gupta said.
Sanjay Gupta said it.
He said you hook these electrodes up, how they put electricity and lightning, however it is, in your head.
Uh-huh.
And then like I guess 17 out of 20, I'll remember things or something.
Dang, do they remember not to go to the place where they put electricity on your head?
He said it didn't hurt. He said it didn't hurt. I trust him as a TV doctor. I'd have to see him do it to somebody else first. I didn't do it to nobody. I just talked about it.
If I did that, they'd be like, did it hurt? And I'd say, no. Did it? I don't know. It sounds like a superhero origin story. If I go in there, if I smoke pot as I'm getting electroded, will I get super memory?
It's
like
both.
damn Mary Lou Henner?
That marijuana pot stuff, that ruins your short-term memory. That's just going against it. No.
What does?
So, never mind.
Jackie, it's August. Remember to moisturize. Put on sunscreen. Your skin is your biggest organ.
Yeah, it is. Covered. Yeah, it's all over. Yeah.
All over. Your biggest organ. Well, there was that boy I had PE with. But you say, well, then, but skin would still cover his thing, right? Well, that's where it gets sad.
What?
Jackie, let me ask you a question. There's a lot of news going on today in this world, in this crazy old world of ours. Let me ask you a question. Seriously, though, let's get into it. Do you think that we, as a country, that America should forgive those who go to college? That's it.
What? Forgive them?
Yeah, should we forgive people who go to college?
Well, it depends on what kind of college they went to, I guess, don't it? If he went to them Animal House things, well, ain't nothing. You got to get with somebody else to forgive you for that mess. I ain't got nothing to do with it. You don't want my forgiveness. You want the man upstairs forgiveness for wasting your life or whatever it is.
You think those Animal House? Do you think these colleges where it's just you put on a toga? Is this what you imagine? It's just togas.
I never went to college. I don't know the first thing about it. I watched some college football, of course, over the years. I don't know. Me personally, family couldn't afford to put me through college. The salesman, working at market beside them went to college. So I don't know the first thing about it except, everybody drinking beer and treating each other terrible. And people who graduate go on and have good lives, too. I guess that, there are some of them, too, yeah.
Didn't you go to the Goat Institute?
That don't count as a real, I think you should be, because if there's anything going to help you in life, especially if you're going to be, farming goats, definitely, then I think it should count as a curriculum.
Uh-huh.
And it should, but I don't think it does. I don't think there ain't no kind of degree or nothing like that. I can't go anywhere. You can tell people I went to go to the institute. And they, yeah, sure.
Who would you tell?
I mean, whoever, if it came up in conversation, I wouldn't go around like bragging about it or nothing, but it is what it is.
Well, do you think Biden should pay you back for what you spent to go take those goat tech courses?
Well, it's so long ago, that might have done gone and left. It wasn't that much, to be honest with you. That was one of the reasons I could go to the institute. I said, well, this county, no, it won't count for nothing, but it don't cost so much for some feed and, hour at a time on the barn, on the farm premises.
Was this
whatever.
Just a petting zoo?
Well, no, they had to do things. It wasn't just a pet zoo. It's a pet zoo that you took care of. You had to it was your job to make sure the goats are good shape for yeah.
Did you ever have a crazy party with them goats?
No, I didn't have. It wasn't like that. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what regular college like and nothing like it. To me, it seemed like a bunch of people carrying on, make a fool of themselves. Not all the time. Certain people, get degrees, go on, doctors, lawyers. Yes, I know that does good. Most people go for a few years, don't even go no more, or can't afford to go no more, or whatever the story is. I don't know. I can't speak for everybody. But should Joe Biden forgive them? I don't know.
Why did Rodney Dangerfield want to go back to college?
Well, that was just to prove a point to his son. He was just going, well, I'll show you.
Oh,
yeah.
That's a good reason. You should definitely, if you go to college for revenge, you should definitely get your money.
Well,
back.
it wasn't for revenge so much. It's like, I'm going to go to school. Well, I'll show you I can do it. He didn't have a college degree. And his son said, don't you tell me to get a college degree. You ain't got one. He said, well, you watch and see. And sure enough, he did learn eventually. He did a lot of that carried on, acting like a fool. But he does that in all of his movies. But eventually he come around and learned a poem or something.
That's Dead Poet Society you're thinking of.
No, he learned.
Williams.
No, that's when the boys kill himself. He never did kill himself or nothing. He just learned the poem and said it out loud. Difference.
Doesn't Rodney Dangerfield climb up on a desk and go, "Hey, look at me"?
I don't know if it does that or not. It gets up on diving board, whatever.
That's it.
Look, I know the difference between my school movies. The Rob Williams things, that's not as funny as
No, you'd think it would be.
Well, as preference. That's what,
Well, you don't like that manic energy?
Well, they didn't have no students killing themselves at back to school. And, that just takes a turn for the worse. And I'm trying to, laugh at old.
Why, what's everybody so upset? Read the room, Rodney. What was his name in that?
I don't remember. Melon Smellish, something like that. He's a big and tall suit, remember? I'm glad you laugh and remember that. It's a funny movie. It's good. It's pretty good. It makes me want to see it. I ain't seen it in a while. Yeah, back to school.
Let's all everybody go watch Back to School.
No, it's a good one. It's a good one, yeah.
Everybody's mad. Period. Again, I'm going to just quit talking because that's where the truth is. In the middle of your sentence.
He didn't forgive him enough. He forgave him too much. Shouldn't forgive him at all. Yeah, I don't know what he gained out of this. There's all of these people complaining about Joe Biden didn't do enough, and I say, well, you could say that, and you have a legitimate cause to say that, but you should also mention that the Republicans, that they wouldn't do anything at all. So I don't know how I feel about it. Like I said, I never went to school, didn't go to college. What did he give them, like $2,000 coupons off or something? What is it? I don't even know what he did.
Yeah, and it's a law that they have to buy your textbooks back. So,
well, okay, yeah, well, that's just going to go to waste.
That's $10,000.
Well, I'm sure he says that hurts the environment, just throwing them out in the street.
Do they even have textbooks anymore?
Everything on the phone or computer, isn't it?
If they got textbooks, I don't know. I would imagine that, like Texas, Florida, they'd probably order their universities to have textbooks so that they can be burned. It's not as much fun to burn a phone.
No.
Burn an app.
Well, if
People get...
that money's going to textbooks, that's a waste of money. That's what I'm saying. Ain't nobody looking at that.
I think you can go get one of them little Pizza Hut pizzas in the student union. Do they still have those too? I don't really know. Hey, everybody. Hey, Jackie, people get mad at Joe Biden a lot. I don't know if you've noticed this, but if that was your grandfather and he did anything and somebody's like, that's not enough, you'd be like, he's an old man. So just keep that in mind the next time you're making your student loan payments. If you have more than $10,000 to $20,000 worth. It was disconcerting to be on Twitter and then people get mad at you for getting mad at them. Like, I can be mad at him and also thankful, which is hard. It is hard to do, but it is kind of a lot of people's relationship with their grandfather.
That's kind of what you have. Yeah, you got to be thankful and also could have done better. But hell, the fact that he's doing anything at all, I guess we got to be thankful. Now, some people say that you don't need to settle for that. Hell, it's what it is. What we gonna do about it?
Thank you and fuck you.
Hey, I didn't say it that way.
That's what he should run on. Thank you and fuck you.
Hey,
I mean, that's got something for everybody. Those little stickers with him at the gas pump saying, I did that. You should take a Sharpie.
That's better. That's better than the GOP's running on right now. They just going without the thank you.
It's true. They don't want nobody thank you.
No.
If you think you can't thank, listen, okay, here's the difference between Democrats and Republicans. You're like, well, how did y'all get so woke? Here's all it is. Republicans now only want the fuck you. They want to get mad.
Yeah, but don't
They want
say
you to get mad.
Yeah.
Without doing nothing for you. Democrats still pretend to do something. They have to do at least the least little bit.
At least actually do a little bit, or at least act like you're doing something.
Because if they don't do the least little bit, they won't be able to make you feel guilty enough to go vote for them. Republicans is all Hulk-based anger. All anger. Who can I yell at today? If you want proof, Jackie, all you got to do is watch the latest campaign ad, or in this case, listen to the latest campaign ad from Ron DeSantis.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is your governor speaking.
Today's training evolution, dogfighting, taking on the corporate media.
That's what... I stopped it. That's what... He dresses up like Top Gun, and he's like, today we're going to yell at computers. Reporters. God damn it, I need them electrodes.
You get Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
Well, we're going to start it over. Freedom Headquarters, Florida.
First off, let everybody know where we're at.
Yeah, Freedom Headquarters is Florida. It's also Meth Headquarters, Alligator Headquarters, Alligator on Meth Headquarters.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
Good morning.
He said, this is him. If you haven't seen this, I don't want to make you go watch Ron DeSantis squeeze into a suit and a helmet, but I guess you should. He's the most charismaless. He said on Fox News that they're like, oh, so you had this idea. It's like, well, actually, my wife came up with the idea. Like, you know how women are. They always imagine their charismaless husbands in Tom Cruise roles.
This is your governor speaking.
Today's training evolution.
That's terrifying. What if you saw just that commercial? What if you woke up, turned on your TV, and say, this is your governor speaking? You're like, oh, no. That's the worst part. That's going to lose in votes.
Evolution, dogfighting, taking on the corporate media.
The rules of engagement are as follows. Number 1, don't fire.
I watched this 100 times. I just realized there's a shot of him tying his shoes.
Well, that's rule number 1. Make sure your shoes are tied before you get starting to be a butthole.
Unless fired upon. But when they fire, you fire back with overwhelming
Don't fire
force.
unless you're fired upon. But when they fire upon them. If they fire upon you, fire upon them. Did I get the point across?
Does it say that in the bill? I'm asking you to tell me what's in the bill.
No, I'm asking you.
This is Jackie. Did you see Top Gun 2?
I haven't seen it yet. No, I want to. I just ain't got around to seeing it.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's nothing like this.
Well.
He
good.
goes to a restaurant and he fucks the bartender.
Hey, what's
This-
your mouth?
This is like him going to restaurants just to complain about the service.
First off, let me say, if you're really going to do it, DeSantis, you didn't need to do just one. You need to do all Tom Cruise. You start like this. Then he's playing pool. Then flipping some drinks around the next shot. You can be a butthole doing all of those things impressively.
You think he can run? You think Ron DeSantis can run?
No,
Come on,
I said
he
I
can't
didn't.
do
I
it.
didn't tell him to be a running one. I said, play pool. You say you ain't running doing that. Walking to an airplane, you ain't doing much. Sitting in an airplane, you ain't doing a whole lot. He could throw some glasses, and he may know how to do some of that. I don't know.
You think he's ever worked a day in his life?
Well, no, but doing press friends, you probably learned a trick or two when he come over here and let me show you something, at the bar or something. My wife says that her favorite movie is cocktails. I learned how to do this one.
Let me tell you more about my wife imagining me in Tom Cruise movies. Here he is. This shot is paused. Y'all can't see this because it's a podcast, but it's paused on him just walking across a runway at like the Smyrna airport. But squeezed into, they run down to the damn Army surplus store. They got him a jumpsuit. He wouldn't try it on. Now let's just get this over with. And then they go to the damn local airport, and he just kind of ties his shoes and walks across the runway. And in his mind, he's remembering clips from press conferences when he yelled at lady journalists. They were editing it on the fly.
Asking you to tell me what's in the bill. Number 2, never ever back down from a fight.
If I could complete the question, though.
So you're going to give a
speech?
speech or ask a question?
Is that not just the same, the first rule?
It's the same thing.
Fire
It's the same,
back.
yeah.
Don't. It's just yell at people. It's just how to be an
different
asshole.
ways can you do the same thing? Now show a clip of me yelling at her.
This is the Republican. It's the only platform is to be an asshole.
It's working.
And they're equating it with some of the most blatant American propaganda in cinematic history. It's like from now, like they'll rewrite fucking
Hey,
1776 history to be like, well, they just told them to shut up. The British were marching and they saw the whites of their eyes and they were like, you people cannot be trusted. You're all the same. CRT.
Number 3, don't accept their
It's
narrative.
wrong. It's a fake narrative. I just disabused you of the narrative, and you don't
So-
care about the facts.
Challenge reality. And then gaslight them.
It's why people don't trust people like you because you
And stand in front of, you can't see
narrative.
this, but you stand in front of middle-aged men in cowboy hats. White men. Did I need to say that? Everybody knew they were white, right? You weren't imagining like, oh, he's got all these people of color in cowboy hats standing behind him. You knew exactly what I meant, right?
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
What's Jonathan?
Is that his kid?
I don't know. He got a little boy in there.
That
It's
might be
like,
his kid.
I ain't picking on his child if that's his kid. I wouldn't understand why he just has get a little boy that looks like me or something to get.
It has to be his kid, but then
It's gotta
also
be.
we wouldn't, if you did just grab a random kid, I mean, who's really going to question it? Is that your
Nobody,
kid
yeah.
in the clip, Governor? Are you going to sit there and say that I didn't have my own child in the... I can't even capture the flatness and lack of life and spark in this man's voice. It's impossible to capture. I'm sorry, Jackie, you were saying something about this little child?
I'm just saying, it's just the whole thing. Look, I'm a big butthole. I'm going to dress this little boy up like a little one.
Well, this is what he wants taught in schools. This is why he wants veterans to be teachers, because they don't have to know anything about, school.
You don't
but
have
they can
to know
give you
anything.
sunglasses.
You don't have to know anything about anything to be a butthole. That's pretty much what we're learning. What are your qualifications for being governor? What is your qualifications for running for office? Well, DeSantis has showed us a lot. He done a lot of being a butthole. People love it.
It's basically the same ways people would tell you to get a refund calling a customer service number. Don't back down. Tell them they're wrong. Don't back down. Ask to talk to a manager. This is the Karening of American politics. Well, remember we used to say Trump, oh, he's terrible. I can't even stand to look at him. He's so petty. Nobody wants that. It's not even serious. It's not, this is American politics. Nobody's going to fall for So I look at this and I say, it's like if Michael Dukakis, was sending his order back, but it's like, this tank is too small. How does Dukakis talk? I don't even.
It's been a while. Yeah, I can't remember it. No.
So I don't know, but this could be the next president of the United States of America.
Anything's possible now. That's what you can't. That's too out. That's absurd. That don't make any sense. That can't happen. Anything possible from him being president to Terminator 2. That could happen tomorrow. None of us going to surprise us.
No, Mad Max could be happening. Anything's possible used to be a good thing to say, and now it's
Mad
terrifying.
Max is now. Look at the Midwest. I mean, that's happening. They running out of water, and the Mad Max right around the corner. But I'm just all of it. Yeah.
This page I watched this video on was Deadline.com. Hollywood News, and the news next to the DeSantis thing says, it says Trump calls for McConnell to be replaced immediately as spat between GOP leaders widens. I didn't even hear about that. That sounds fun. That sounds like a fun story to follow that we're not prepared to discuss. So
not at this time. Not at this time. No, I don't think so.
We can just yell at the podcast listeners. What, are you going to sit there and listen to us, not know what we're talking about? Or are you going to give us a chance to speak? Warner Brothers holding Batgirl screenings for cast and crew on lot this week.
Well, that's nice of them, and I guess, yeah.
So go to the Warner Brothers lot. I think it's in the Look What You Did theater. And on your way out, Zaslav's going to take your phone and delete half your photos.
Red State Update listeners, if you're out there, let me tell you, it's safe now. It is safe.
We're here to protect you.
Everything's going to be okay.
We did it. We saved your time, planet, multiversal escape from the Jackie and Dunlap who don't like Trump.
I cannot believe that there's any kind of dimension, time, land, world, space, place where Jackie and Dunlap could be liberals. Makes me sick to my stomach, and it also proves my point. Alex Jones was always right. They putting stuff in the water. There's no other way. They could have wound up like that, and I'm sorry any of y'all had to hear this, and by God, we're here to set things right.
Jackie always listens to Alex Jones. He says it makes his throat hurt less.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like an audio lozenge.
In a way, yeah. I ain't got no reason to complain.
So we got Jackie and Dunlap woke Jackie and Dunlap, tied up in a closet here, and we're here to make sure that this is a safe space. No liberal snowflakes allowed. We're here to redeem the name of President Donald J. Trump.
The real one. Can you believe? It's just crazy that even in another world that people believe that Joe Biden is president. How can anybody buy that mess?
I can't buy it, and it's on the newspaper every day. They just say it like it ain't nothing. Like, oh, no, Joe Biden's president. I'm like, how can you even, with a straight face?
All I'm doing, even Fox News makes me sick to my stomach. Not only have Jackie and Dunlap in this time, whatever, continue things to slip up, what up, have you? Liberal, Fox News will turn it on there. Biden won the election fair and square. Can you believe any of this mess?
And here we are in this world where people chastising the president, Trump, for having some papers in his office, in his golf club.
Safe. His safe. The safest place he's supposed to have for private, personal, secret, whatever it is.
You put it in a safe.
Safe. You don't go maybe ask him. Maybe just go up and ask him, can we look in his safe? If you ask him nicely, I don't see any reason why he wouldn't let you. But no, you wait till he's gone up to New York to have to go deal with some other foolish mess of a trial or whatever. Make sure he's busy doing that and then go barge into his house. I'm telling you right now, if the FBI could barge into that place, Mar-a-Lago, that just let you know that they, on a whim, they could barge into any multi-millionaire's resort, whatever it is, golf, whatever the thing it is, restaurant.
That's not what America was founded on. Your
Nope.
restaurant or your resort or your whatever is supposed to be your castle.
Yeah.
And your castle is also supposed to be. If this was in one of Trump's castles, you also shouldn't go in there.
Same thing.
Same old thing.
Doesn't matter if this place is used for anything but keeping secret files in. Still no excuse.
If the president says a closet in the hall that waiters used to hook up in is a safe, then that's a safe, right? Like when we say all the papers were in a safe, we don't mean they were in an actual safe like Geraldo blew up. We mean that they were in a safe like whatever Trump said was a safe is a safe. He's the president.
If the president says it's a safe, then by God, it's a safe.
Yeah, that's just the way we elect presidents in this country to tell us what things are, even if we believe them to be other things. That's what George Washington and Abraham Lincoln lied all the see, that's a liberal word. This is a weird place to be, Jackie.
I don't understand.
The liberal words start getting into your head.
I
don't know if I had too much water or something. I tried not to
drink any water here. No.
I know, but I don't know which beers are mostly water.
What?
So let me rephrase that. They didn't lie as in lies that are bad, but they told you things that reframed how you see reality to more closely align with their personal struggles for liberty.
Because they loved America so much.
Because they loved America so much. And their personal struggles against law enforcement if someone was trying to arrest them. Because they love America so much.
Yeah.
That's all tracking, right? I mean, how much beer did I have? Here's the thing. Okay, this isn't totally making sense. Let's go back through it. Trump is a pack rat.
He's sentimental values. Sentimental values, that don't mean nothing to a president, anybody else's job. It don't mean nothing. Who am I to tell him what means something to me or the country or him? He knows how he feels about something. You don't need the FBI to show up and say, oh, you're not supposed to feel this way about this or that, or your love letters or whatever. You know, those are his. They're written to him. It says President Trump on them. I guarantee you, I ain't seen them yet. And I don't want to see him. If he
I don't want to see him.
I don't want to see him. Unless he wants me to see him. If there's a reason that he needs to put it out there to show what Biden did to him, then yes, I want to see him. Otherwise, it's personal. It's his. I don't need to know.
I will.
It's
until he tells us that this will, looking at these love letters to the dictator of North Korea, who is his friend, so they're friend letters. Until he tells us that looking at them will damage Joe Biden in some way, I don't want to see them. He can keep them. They're sentimental. He's a pack rat. He's sentimental about his time in office because until he gets back in there, it's just America shitting on itself and rolling around in it.
There are special papers that only leaders like Trump, Putin, Kim Jong-un,
whoever in Saudi Arabia
whoever it is at the moment, they are privileged to look at that. The rest of us is not for our eyes, or the FBI's for that matter.
Nope. Too many eyes. There's 5-6 people in the world that should get to look at these things, and they're his friends, and they wrote each other letters, and the friends told him what documents to take out of the White House. That's personal, confidential, private, sentimental. He's a sentimental old fool.
I said sentimental values. That's right.
He ain't old or a fool.
Nope.
It's just this, I don't know if it's in the air. Maybe it's the chemtrails. Have you seen any chemtrails?
What do you mean? It ain't up in the sky?
I feel like I'm tripping over myself trying to explain something that should be obvious. They said he was just throwing stuff in boxes. You know what it's like when you got to move out of somewhere.
Yeah. And I've heard it said many times, when he left the White House in his excuse, it was a hectic time. There was a lot going on.
January was a very busy month for him.
It was. And he had so much on his mind. He was dealing with so much. Who knows what got put into what box and where. And now look, they've been trying to sort it out for a year now.
That's what the FBI.
Yeah,
is that true, or is that what the FBI is?
Well, the FBI says it didn't, but the paper that Trump put out, him and his lawyers, they leaked out. It said this, so if it must be true, if Trump wanted us to look at it, it said
Biden. Biden.
Yep, Biden. And for a year, they've been trying to get him. They're supposed to want him, and he'd been working. He'd give a little at a time, and then we all supposed to be all worried like, oh, it's 300, over 300 top classified. Well, obviously, I know it's a lot because it's taken a year for him to give them back. It takes a while. If a government comes in here and bangs on my door and says, I want all the papers, I say, well, all right, you'll get them as soon as I finish looking at them. Me and my master, what is it?
Special master.
Me and my special master are going to look at every one of these before you look at it and take it away.
That's when I knew he was on to something special. When he said special master, I said, shit. Yeah, he got him now.
Look out, special master coming.
He asked for a special master.
They say, look, you in hot water now. Look, Mr. Trump, Mr. President. Yes, well, you're right. You call him Mr. President because he still is. Listen, you in hot water now. Come in your house. They tried subpoena after subpoena. The lawyer, all this. They was ready. Old Merrick Garland up there foaming at the mouth. And sure enough, out of nowhere, special master.
That's chess.
Yeah.
That's playing chess. That's how Trump plays chess.
All dimensions. Yeah, like a dimension.
All of them.
Yeah.
The different in the special master, man. And I think they filed it wrong, but that's just because the judge has a special finicky way. They want everything. That's why it takes so long to...
Now, you got to understand how messed up, because it takes a judge. A judge has to sign on the paper, then another judge, a grand jury has to look at all this. It's a very complex, you have to go through a lot before you...
Even though I think the judge was a Trump appointee, so you'd think that they would just be okay.
But just how, you have to go through procedure. Right. That's what the law is.
And they were trying to give the papers back until it was taken. They were going through for a year.
Yeah.
And then he was like, oh, let's see if these scratches, sniff stickers still smell on some of his personal paper. But he also shouldn't give them back, and he doesn't want to give them back, and he's going to get them back. He's going to get them back. Rolling Stone magazine.
Special master.
Special master, he's... top secret, they said. I mean, at first, sure, Republicans were going on Fox going, well, if it's top secret, of course, that would be one thing, but Trump wouldn't. And then it turns out some of these may be super, super top secret. Maybe.
We don't know.
But he's the president, so he
is.
should.
If anybody's going to have these top secret files, I'd want it to be him. Who else? Now, if it was somebody else's house, if they'd have finally if they found all those this emails finally from Hillary and whatnot, by all means, take care of business, do what you're supposed to do. But here we don't know. Well, anybody else, it don't matter. We don't know what they got out of this house. We just have to take their word for it. Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, when we should be taking Trump's word for it. Although apparently, according to the Washington Post, which is, why am I even reading that mess?
Why would you?
But nobody knows what's in these boxes except for Trump. He wouldn't even show it to his the aides. And the lawyers said they'd give it all back, and he can't. You know what's funny is it seems like in America you could never run out of lawyers, but now Trump is just about to go through them all. I think that just shows you how the deck is stacked against him.
Well, you would think in America, a billionaire like President Trump would be able to hire the finest legal team available to him in the whole world, let alone America. But you could see how they've rigged it.
I mean, it's really just, if you look at it, it all is super crystal clear, I think. That parts of it.
There's
a few things I don't understand.
When that judge lets that affidavit down, we'll know more. We'll know more right now. Things we just a little shaky on here and there, but I'm sure
they'll tell us what a special master is, and we'll be like, see,
you got that coming, You wait and see, It's got to be something good. It's got to be really something. I tell you what, old Biden is kicking himself under the desk.
He can't even, the leg won't even go that high. He's gonna really, I mean, when you lay it out like we have just now, it's pretty clear that we let him out. Just let him out.
Are they tied up
in
there?
The pants and let
open the door. Just open the door. Is it locked? They tied up inside? I don't know. I can't remember. Anyhow, all right.